Would everybody please recite the pledge with us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I call the meeting of the Salem School Board of Trustees to order. I have verified there is a quorum. First routine matter would be to approve the minutes of the executive regular session of May 8th, 2023, and the executive session of May 17th, 2023, and a special meeting executive session of May 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Rebecca White makes that motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Approve agenda.
So moved.
Steve Motsinger makes that motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Approve claims to date.
I'll make a motion.
Allison Ezell makes that motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Rebecca White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Let me take a drink of water before we start here. That's going to be a long list. Approval of personnel and ECA recommendations. Curtis Fisher, resignation from SCS bus driver to sub driver after September 1st, 2023. Chrissy Albertson, resignation from SCS treasurer. Lori Campbell, resignation from BSC third grade teacher. Dr. Richard Rutherford, temporary leave retroactive as of May 19th, 2023. Tressie Barrett, resignation from SHS teacher. Seth Hobson, resignation from BSC teacher. Courtney Henry, resignation from SHS SMS band assistant. Tina Sorrells, resignation from SCS bus driver. Micajah Rippey, resignation from BSC music teacher. Martha Deich, retirement from SCS bus driver. Teresa Day, retirement from custodian effective December 31st, 2023. Jalen Nice, new hire SHS biology chemistry teacher. Brittany Hillenbrand, new hire MSHS band instructor. Jordan Zweidorf, new hire BSE teacher. Danielle Bennington, new hire BSE teacher. Brianna Deaton, new hire SMS custodian. Landon Gorman, new hire SMS custodian. Anita McNeely, new hire BSE custodian. Lori Tharp, new hire SHS SMS choir instructor. Christy Humphrey, transfer from MSS teacher to high school instructional assistant. Alex Davidson, transfer from BSE 5th grade teacher to BSE physical education teacher. Kristen Bailey, transfer from MS Language Arts to MS Career and Digital Apps teacher. That's it.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Rebecca White, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Donations. Consider approval of a donation to Brady Shrum Elementary for $200 from Art Gives Back, Roseanne Quattroke. These funds are to be used for Mrs. Roberts' art grades 3 through 5.
So moved.
Steve Motsinger makes that motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of a donation to the Salem High School boys golf team for $200 from Daniel and Linda Dwyer.
Make the motion.
Rebecca White makes that motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of a donation to Salem High School Disney Club for the spring 2024 trip to Walt Disney World from the following: $100 Ernstberger Orthodontics, $150 for Fox Perlee Financial Services.
I'll make the motion.
Allison Ezell makes that motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is the board to hold a hearing on proposed capital projects. If you're interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you sign the sign-in sheet, which includes your name and address, to have a presentation by the administration and its advisors. There will be an opportunity for public to make comments about the project at the hearing. We will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and that topic to be limited to the proposed project under consideration. At this time, I would ask for a motion to close the board meeting and open the hearing. Motion made by Rebecca White, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Regular board meeting is now closed. We'll open it up for the hearing.
Somebody's at the door.
At the door.
I got it.
Yeah.
The notice of this hearing was published as legally required. At this time, I will ask that Eric Long and Luke Bregeman, did I get that right, Luke? Luke Bregeman?
Yes, sir.
Luke
Yeah.
Bregeman with the Stifle Group and Eric Long with Ice Miller of the Bond Council to explain this hearing. Eric and Luke, take it away.
Yes, thank you. Quick sound check, make sure you guys can still hear us okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Excellent. Well, we're here this evening pursuant to Indiana Code, Title 20 to be exact. We've done this before with Salem many times. Before a school corporation may spend more than $1 million to build, repair, or otherwise alter any school facility that's going to be bond financed through GO bonds or lease financing. You are required to hold a public hearing at which the explanations of the potential value of those projects are given to the school corporation and to the community. So I just want to highlight that and once again mention that this public hearing this evening and the consideration of resolutions represent the very beginning of the legal process. So all we're doing tonight is establishing the maximum financial terms for this proposed project.
Okay, we will now ask, is you or Eric, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So Luke wants to talk about the process of determining the communication between the community and the need for the project.
And I'll try to do a screen share here because it looks like you have the screens that are visible. So bear with me for just a moment. There should be a slide presentation that you can now see. Can you let me know verbally if that is correct?
Yes.
Excellent, okay. All right.
Perfect, thank you. Thanks for your flexibility on letting us be virtual here as well. So Luke Brugman with Stifel. We serve as underwriter for the school corporation. We've been talking with the administration about a potential project, and anytime that we start structuring a new bond issue, the first thing that we always start with is the school corporation's current outstanding debt obligations and what their debt service tax rate has been. So in 2021, that rate was 46.22. In 22, it jumped up to 59 cents, and 23 was just under 43 cents. The 5-year average was 46.78. So based on conversations with the administration, the plan was to move forward with a tax rate based on that 5-year average, pretty close to that. So targeting that 21 rate of the 46.22. So you can see here, after 24, really in 25, 6, 7, 8, you have some debt falling off, but as you follow that orange line, which corresponds to the axis on the y-axis on the right side, that tax rate is decreasing on an annual basis. So really giving you the flexibility to fund these projects as tax rate neutral. But if I flip to the second slide here, in gray is the debt payments that you just saw on the previous page. And then in blue is the potential structuring of the new bond issue. So you'll see in 2024, we're targeting maintaining that 2021 rate of 46.22, but then also we're leaving the school corporation flexibility for future bond issues too. So you'll see that blue line go down in 25, 6, 7, all the way out to 2035. So we're looking at a 12-year repayment on that. So going forward, you'll see that tax rate start to smooth out a little bit at that 46 cents, and that's the goal of starting with this project is funding it based on that. The last slide is the legal parameters. These are the maximum parameters that you can do. We can always borrow less than this, but cannot borrow any more. So the maximum borrowing amount or par amount is $3,175,000. Our conservative estimate with cost of issuance and professional fees is $175,000. That leaves the school corporation with proceeds for hard and soft construction costs of $3 million. Final maturity of the bonds is 20 years, but as I just showed on the previous page, we anticipate repaying that in 12 years. The maximum interest rate of 6% again today, we're in probably 4.25 range. Again, we're not selling these bonds until the fall, so trying to build in some flexibility and be conservative with that. The interest expense is based off of that interest rate. The max annual payment is the max payment that the school corporation is allowed to make in any given year. Again, we can always make a payment less than that, but that's the maximum that we're authorizing at any time. If you just take that $1 million divided by the school corporation's net assessed value, that's when you get the the tax rate impact of 1965. However, as I showed on the previous page, you'll have some debt payments falling off, which allows for the school corporation to fund these equivalent to the 2021 tax rate at slightly less than the 5-year average. It is a tick up of about 3 cents over the 2023 rate, so you will see that 3 cent number in your resolution. Have a couple of the ratios down there at the bottom is really just a percentage of your net assessed value. We will likely sell the bonds. I think Eric may mention additional steps and timing of it, but we'll likely sell the bonds in the fall. So by no means is this the final step. This is really just the first step for everything. And that is the last slide that I have, but happy to answer any questions that the board has.
So basically, we've arrived at this point. Obviously, we have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of buildings, a lot of property. So we secure these bonds so we can do facility upgrades, any deferred maintenance, transportation that we have to deal with at this point. And so this is why what they're giving you is basically the maximum parameters of any projects that we would undertake at this point. So anything else from you?
That's accurate. So the way we've described it in the resolutions that are before you this evening includes any number of renovation improvements, deferred maintenance, lighting improvements, site improvements, athletics improvements, and even potentially playground improvements at the elementary school. Again, this is just the first step in the process, so I think it's fair to say that as the summer goes along and we get closer to fine-tuning items to actually be bid upon, that's when we really hone in and just try to maximize how much of those needs can be tackled with the maximum parameters that we're setting this evening.
And I'm sorry, Eric, I apologize. I've met you before, but my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Okay.
Well, and we're staring at television screens. I was remiss in saying that before as well. We're really appreciative of the fact that we're able to tune in virtually this evening. Just tends to be a crazy time of year for us, and I'm just thankful to still have the ability to meet with you folks, even if by television screen.
Great, appreciate it. Just hang on for us for just a second. We'll see if we have any public comments. We'll now open the public hearing. Remember, if you'd like to speak, please sign in. The sheet is over next to Jana, as I mentioned earlier. We ask that you state your name, address, limit your comments to the proposed project, financing, keep any comments to 3 minutes, and avoid being repetitive if possible. Jana, do you have the sign-in sheet?
Richardson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when it comes to any type of renovation to our schools, I want to know that I'm on board 150%. Because I remember going to school with Mark and Allison and remembering the high school not being near the high school it is today. And we are very proud of our schools, and I feel like our students, our faculty, everybody involved deserves absolutely the best that we can provide them. And so anything that comes with this, I just want you to know I'm 100% on board with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jamie.
That's all the comments I have.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you to all who participated in the hearing. We appreciate your time and interest in the projects and the future of our community. Please note that this is just the first step in the legal process. The board will continue to work with the administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our educational needs. Okay. Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Steve Motsinger. All in favor to open the regular monthly meeting back or close the hearing? Raise your right hand. Motion passes 7-0. Motion to open up the school board meeting back up.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Ray Opal, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
See you, Eric.
Thank you, Luke.
Before we do sign off, did you want us to help run through the resolutions that are up for consideration?
Sure, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's do that.
So there's 2 resolutions this evening, the first of which is described as the project resolution. So once again, that's just required whenever a school corporation is planning to finance more than $1 million on a given facility. So that resolution contains the estimated hard and soft construction costs. Basically what Luke showed you in a slide deck earlier, this is now contained in the resolution. So showing that maximum borrowing of $3,175,000 with $3 million going to actual brick and mortar, et cetera. So it establishes the cost of issuance and therefore the total project costs. And then it also contains that estimated tax impact that Luke was talking about.
I may have skipped past that part. I apologize.
So do we need to close the meeting?
No, quite all right, quite all right.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Could I have a motion and second to adopt the project resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Rebecca White makes the motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand.
I can't see these glasses.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0. Could I have a motion and second to adopt the reimbursement resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Allison Ezell makes that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Steve Motsinger. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That action item passes 7-0.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, JD,
Here,
for
have a
setting
seat.
that up. Okay. Consider property casualty insurance renewal with Moore Shepherd.
So I talked to Jason Bukowski. He's actually, he comes usually to our meeting every year. He's on vacation just by chance this last time, but he reached out to the admin in this building prior to leaving. They've done some assessed values to all of our buildings. Our property increase in coverage needs to be $22 million on top of what we already have. Our work comp mod went to from a 0.78 to a 1.22. For some of you who don't know insurance, that means it's increasing because of our claims. He's came back with 3 different options that basically puts us in the ballpark to where we was last year. Third option is more of a co-insurance type situation. So they've reassessed everything. I think based on those 3 options, Dr. Thurston and Chrissy and Tracy, that we continue with them would be my suggestion and their suggestion.
Okay, consider that action item.
I'll make a motion, we do so.
Steve Motsinger makes the motion to consider property casualty insurance renewal with Moore Shepherd. Second. Seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of return to in-person instruction for 2023-2024.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Let me explain that for a minute. So since COVID, we have to have an in-person instruction resolution. I think this is the last year that we have to do that resolution.
December we have to do it again.
So it is just standard procedure that we've done this since COVID. So consider approval of return to in-person instruction for 2023-2024. Allison Ezell makes that motion, seconded by Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of SHS textbook approval for technical communications ITCC.
I'll make that motion.
Allison Ezell makes that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of the BSE fees for the 2023-2024 school year. That includes kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade.
I'll make the motion.
Allison Ezell makes that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of the SMS fees for 2023-2024 school year. That will include 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. Rodney Bruff makes that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Steve Motsinger. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Consider approval of the Salem High School fees for 2023-2024 school year. Ray Opal makes that motion. Becky Humphrey seconds that, seconds that. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 7-0. Consider approval of support staff increases effective 7/1/23 and 8/3/2023.
I'll make the motion.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. This was more of a clerical issue to get people on the same page instead of the dates fluctuating, so everybody was kind of working on the same schedule. Consider approval of the following fundraisers. We'll just do them all at one time, A through E. SMS 7th and 8th grade cheer teams calendar fundraiser with raffle month of June. SMS 7th and 8th grade cheer teams car wash June and July. SHS cheerleaders cooler raffles June. SHS cheerleaders stadium seat raffle August. SHS cheerleaders online Salem apparel middle to end of July.
So moved.
Steve Motzinger makes that motion to accept those fundraisers. Seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Those considerations, those approvals, 7-0. Items from staff. See a lot of staff. Nobody? Okay. Non-action items. Mr. Tim Peace and Miss Shannon, is it Whitecamp?
Close enough.
Well, what is it, Whitecamp?
Weedicamp.
Weedicamp. Hey, you never know if you're not told. They're with Equus, correct?
Correct.
Flight Academy, LLC. And they have got a lot of publicity lately. So we are fortunate to have them here to kind of explain a little bit what they're doing and what they can do to help our students.
Wow, this is a bigger audience than what I thought. Good evening, I am Shannon Wiedekamp, formerly Shannon Clark, and I know several people, and I spent several, hours maybe in Mr. Opal's office once upon a time. So hopefully this goes better than what that did. I am the CEO and co-owner of Equus Flight Academy. Tim's working on getting our presentation up. It is a female-owned business. A little bit about my background is started in aviation about 14 years ago, and I sit on the board of directors of Women in Aviation International. I have been on several national workforce development committees with aviation, and where the need is in aviation today. There's a shortage of pilots, shortage of mechanics, shortage of flight attendants, and that will just go down to engineers and designers and schedulers and dispatchers. So aviation is the future, as well as UAS, which is unmanned aerial systems. And we wanted to come and present the program that we have started at the Salem Airport, and I'm going to turn it over to Tim for that.
Thanks to the board having us here this evening. Most of you know me, some better than others. Oh, sorry. That's a recorded Microsoft file that we had. So, Equus Flight Academy started over 30 years ago in Nashua, New Hampshire, which is about 60 minutes away from Boston, Massachusetts. I graduated here in 1984. So a little background on me, I left for the airlines around 1988. Spent about 6 years working at 3 different airlines, Piedmont's Commuter, a place called Enterprise where we serviced the Concorde, that everyone may have heard of. It's been in a museum now. And then worked in the AMR system, American World, and then left to manage private aircraft. So with an airline transport pilot permit, 10 type ratings as a captain in jets, worldwide operations, 20,000 hours. It's time to do something different. So I do own a aircraft investment company that we manage and charter aircraft, go all over the world. I own part of a repair station as well with another female who we do level 3 non-destructive testing and various other things that are X-ray wings and things like that. And then Shannon and 2 other partners joined to create or extend this flight school. We are VA approved. We have the ability to issue F1 and M1 visas for foreign students. This is a sister company of Equiday Holdings where we do leasing. Unbridled Air, which is the aircraft investment group. Gal Up Aircraft Maintenance, which is our level 3 NDT. We are a multinational company, including having assets that are based in Shanghai, China. Not your normal, typical Salem thing. We encompass about 44 employees in Indiana, Kentucky, New Hampshire, and Florida, where we have 2 domiciles, including Palm Beach, So what we've begun here with our local operation and with the Nashua operation is a partnership beginning with Indiana Wesleyan. What we propose to do is, instead of sending students to Prosser, where they have an aviation program, we would offer dual university credits. So the students would complete with 9 semester hours of training with a 2-year program. And they also would receive a remote pilot certification. The certification is a test and training that we would provide. And then once certified, you can do commercial operations up to 56 pounds, from 116 grams up to 56 pounds. Beyond 56 pounds, you need an FAA license to be able to fly a drone. So what could a student do with that? There's a variety of things: aerial survey, insurance, appraisals, and diminishment value determinations based on flying around roofs and so on and so forth. Here's some examples: post remote aerial survey, insurance assessment, movie or commercial video production, photography, aerial assessment application. We do intend to bring aerial application to bear going forward over the next few years. So using drones, and that's a separate company that we would have. We would propose to have classes 5 days a week, 2 hours every morning. It's our understanding, we've met with Jennifer Martin and with Chris McHeron. Jennifer said that if she didn't make it
She's on the phone here.
Oh,
She's
she is
on
on the phone?
speakerphone, yeah.
Okay, very well, that she would be available for
she's
questions.
here. She's here.
So there you go. It's our understanding that the current Prosser student, of course, rides a bus to New Albany or the New Albany area and then comes back, which takes them out of the classroom for a period of time. Therefore, the student's not in the classroom or as many classes as they could be. That essentially gives them a penalty, not being able to participate in some extracurricular activities. They also have to make up an online class, 2 online classes for spending time there. What we're proposing is an 8 a.m. start time. Student shows up at the airport where we conduct class, and then they come back here by about 10 to, well, they end at 10, be here by 10:10, 10:15, somewhere in there, which gives them more time physically in the building. It gives them more socialization with the classes, including lunch, and it gives them the ability to participate in those extracurricular activities. Shannon, you want to jump in?
We were approached to come up with a program. We were asked a lot about the Prosser program. It is a 1-year program, and kids basically go through like a general class, and they get 10 hours of flight time, and that flight time must be done after hours or on weekends. So it's not done when they go down to New Albany. We have presented to Eastern School Board, and they are going to send their students to Salem. 5 students, I believe.
Firm commitment for 3, potential for 5.
West Washington, when we talked to them, they said they would like their students to get something out of it, rather than just getting on a bus and going down and learning about planes. Maybe, it's my understanding that a lot of the kids don't actually use the flight hours because they have to go back at other times if they're involved in sports, and that takes up the weekends. So it's difficult for them to do that. With this, again, they get credits for Indiana Wesleyan, and they come out with a actual FAA license, a remote pilot license, that they can use to go directly to work.
The West Washington group was particularly interested in the NLPS compliance and how that matches up with Indiana's Department of Education so that dual credits are received. Indiana Wesleyan currently offers a dual credit program in Grant County, so they're giving us that curriculum just to pass along. It's already mapped, and it would be exactly the same 3 courses that they're currently teaching. Let's see here. The instructors that we have, there are 2 secondary educated, master's level academically school teachers, along with 1 person who holds a master's degree in accounting and has several aviation credentials to go along with it that would be available to teach these classes every day. We would also support career guidance in the form of potential internships, mentorships, or scholarship opportunities to go along with this. The cost is effectively the same as what Prosser is, which, as I understand, it's around $3,000 and some change per student. We're looking at a flat $3,000 per student per year, so for the course year.
Yeah, the school program really was not the basis for starting the flight school. The flight school was to teach flying. There are 5 of us that work for the company that all graduated from Salem High School. And when we started looking and expanding, you know, our thoughts on this, it's like, what could we do to give back to the kids here? And so this was an opportunity to kind of put something together. We will also be doing flight lessons, so if anybody from the classes want to do that, but that's not the main goal with them. It's to give them the education and give them something that they can use directly out of high school.
We will have a full motion simulator as well, which is not actually part of any of the curriculums that we just discussed here, but we'll make sure that everyone has some time in that. It holds 2 pilots at the same time, and it can simulate air traffic control, and then students actually can sit in a classroom like this, or here in this room for that matter, and watch a 3-dimensional view of the aircraft, what's happening with the candidate or student themselves, and then geographically where the aircraft is on a map or approach plate. So it's a way to brief people before they begin flying somewhere for the airport environment. It saves a lot of time if you are learning how to fly. But we want to see this across a dispatcher, a mechanic, maybe you already went down this list while I was working with the computer. Dispatchers, mechanics, line service people, pilots, flight attendants, the entire gambit of the aviation industry, including engineering. And Shannon mentioned being on the board of directors with Women in Aviation. I chair the Business Aviation Management Committee for NBAA. Shannon's group is 18,000 people international. The group that I was a part of, 44,000 all in the U.S., including Fortune 10 companies. I make the joke that when I started, it was a bunch of gray-haired old men, and when I left, it was a bunch of gray-haired old men and women. So we have a lot of connections to bring to the classroom. Between us, we know about 7 astronauts, and we do have a chief of flight test for the F-18 Super Hornet program, actual rocket scientists that just went to work in Huntsville. These are all people who would have as guest speakers, either physically in person or via teleconference, to educate the kids each day when they come in, or sometime during the week, of course, the training.
And you know, that is important to us because, like I said in an interview that I didn't know I was going to do, I wanted to be an air traffic controller when I was here. Everybody sees the big tower at the airport, right? I didn't know anybody who was an air traffic controller, and there was nobody that could lead me or guide me to even answer the questions. So having the availability for all of these connections, you know, somebody wants to be a rocket engineer, we've got somebody they can talk to. They can, you know, answer their questions and get them where they need to be. Because I can't answer those questions.
Shannon's actually personal friends with the first female African-American SR-71 pilot. So the number of resources that we have for people that might be interested in any aspect of this is unlimited. Questions?
Yeah, I have one. I like the idea, but okay, I'm a little, would this be ran as like a regular school, like day, like if school is canceled for whatever reason, this would be canceled too?
Yes, we would coordinate with the schedules.
And then the getting them to the airport and back, is that our obligation, or is that something that everybody?
We discussed that as, and I think Jennifer said some of the kids are allowed to drive themselves to Prosser. And if need be, you know, we'll find a van.
Like a shuttle or a bus,
yeah.
If we need to provide transportation. West Washington and Lost River both they already have kids that drive. And although Eastern mentioned that if they had to provide transportation, they'd find it, they felt that just authorizing the kids to do that would be acceptable, since everyone's old enough to do that.
Well, especially it would begin the school day, so they'd
Yes.
actually be coming into school.
Yeah.
To be off summer. the beginning?
The times are a little flexible, but everyone seems to be okay with 8. We could do 7:30. We could do 8:30 for that matter, but that's starting to take away from the school day. So if there was something that fit better by starting 30 minutes earlier that goes in with the normal school curriculum, all the guidance counselors, superintendents, and the boards that we've met with so far were very open to whatever works.
Okay, and then when they graduate, then they can go further. This is something they'll have the credits. I just want to, okay, am I understanding that they can fly a drone?
Correct.
Okay, but then, like, if they wanted to go further and become a pilot or something, then they'll need additional hours. Where do they pick up from there, I guess?
So the 9 semester hours that they receive are from a regionally accredited university. If they went down an aviation discipline, those classes should drop into anyone's curriculum. If they chose to go do something else, whatever it was, be a history major, then the same 9 credit hours would fall into electives. So they're not going to lose that time wherever they might choose to go to, should they go to a post-secondary school.
And one more question for me, sorry. Are there any grants available to continue and help out with, and I'm sure there will be.
Yes.
Or is it
The Women in Aviation just alone gives out approximately $1 million in scholarships every year. And I kind of keep a list of all the scholarships through AOPA, EAA, all the various aviation organizations, and really encourage the kids to apply for those scholarships.
Just a statement, I love the idea.
Okay.
I think it sounds like fantastic.
Wonderful, thank you.
Well, and even thinking,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Well, I was just thinking about the kids that are even looking at going into the military.
Right.
For people that are going like on the military path, of how useful to have this skill set going in would
Well,
be.
and, Tim and I, we've talked about, when we were in school, the airport was thriving. There were, you looked out, there were planes all the time. They had events, they had aviation days, and, we would like to bring that back for the community, bring back CAP, which is the Civil Air Patrol, which is a lot of kids do go into the military, started there. Our TC program for the county, if we could do that. But to open those opportunities.
This isn't just limited to Indiana Wesleyan either. They were a good choice, we feel like, and we already had a prior relationship with them. In July, through Cessna, we should also add Liberty University if that's where someone chose to go to, which is 100% online instead of being mixed like Indiana Wesleyan is between brick and mortar and online. And then we have another university that we're working with that's already given us a commitment, but we haven't made press releases for that yet. That they will not start classes until fall of '24.
I think this is exciting.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
It's just another level of opportunity for kids here, and Salem is no stranger to dual credits. We've been doing this a long, long time. We've been doing it since
Making an entrance. Sorry, guys. We had dual credits back in the day.
Yeah, we had dual credits when we were in school, so we've been doing dual credits for a long time. So we greatly appreciate you coming back and helping the community out. It's a great opportunity.
And to answer some of the questions I heard on the way here, the second year, and Tim made the answer, the second year they can get their flight. It's what we have at Prosser, but better. And as he mentioned, the fact that they will have 2 more periods to be in the classroom here. The second year students, when they do the flight, they go down and do the flying. Now it's going to be at Bowman Field, so they're going to cross the river. They would have to drive there themselves. And if they wanted to do football or wrestling or whatever, they're not going to be able to because they're doing that after school. With this program, they would be able to continue to have their after school hours for sports or whatever. Yes, I did run.
I think you flew here.
But anyway, but it is a really good opportunity, and the fact that there was a question about transportation out there, right now, I think it would be fine because it is so close for our students to drive. Our students that are interns right now, they're driving different places in town for their internship. It's not like they're driving to Prosser because we don't want that but if there was a concern there, I'm sure we could do a white bus or something, but right now, I see it being just a few students and continuing to grow and build. But I think it's a great opportunity right here in our backyard. And I'm very proud of the fact that these are our graduates, and 5 of the people that run the show, they're all Salem grads, and they're coming back here. So
Pretty awesome. It's awesome.
anyway,
Very awesome.
it's pretty cool. What other questions did you have that maybe I could answer? I'm really sorry, I didn't plan to be here, and it takes longer sometimes.
Maybe you should have flew here.
Well, Tim.
We have helicopters.
Air taxi.
I was the one who was asking most questions. I think you answered, I think they answered them very well. I think we're given an airport in our community, and it's a nice airport, and they've upgraded it, so we need to utilize it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful airport.
Yeah.
And the most they could get at Prosser is their private pilot's license. We had a student a few years ago that completed the Prosser program, and then went on to Indiana State to get his regular pilot's license. Same with this, they would go on to, if they wanted to continue that, they'd go military, or they could go Purdue, Indiana State, Quincy. There are a lot of different places they could go to continue. And the grants and things, the scholarships, those would pay for that schooling as well.
This will be offered out here at the Salem Airport?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a classroom that's capable of about 20. There are 2 currently in the Prosser program
For the
Salem.
senior year, yeah.
And then there were 2 at Eastern. Eastern has promised us 3 with the possibility of 2 more.
And we have some juniors that, I didn't want to talk to our kids yet until, they had their opening ribbon cutting on Friday. And I wanted the board to hear about the opportunity before I, went to the kids and talked with them. But I think, as he mentioned, Eastern's in, West Washington sounds like they're going to be in.
West Washington and Lost River both just wanted a copy of the mapping.
And that's the other thing, the career pathways that we have to have. Everybody has to have a pathway. This will help some of our students meet a pathway that have difficulty other ways. It also gives them some more opportunity that they might not have. Some kids can't go to Prosser because they can't get here at 7 o'clock their junior year every morning to catch the bus. So this would be more feasible for some of our kids to do that. The drone certificate he mentioned about, that is a certificate. That certificate's one of those things that meets the graduation pathways, so.
And I think, Jennifer, we talked about the fact that if somebody just wanted to come in their junior year, even though it's a 2-year program, each of the classes, because the second year, the Indiana Wesleyan class is basically lifelong learning skills, which, kids are going to take in college anyway. So if you have somebody that moves into the community, or they decide, wait a minute, I would rather do that than something else, they can come in for their senior year. It doesn't limit them.
Awesome. And a lot of the Prosser programs now, you have to do both years. You can't just go to Prosser as a senior except for like one program. And this would, so once again, gives us a little more flexibility. And not slamming Prosser in any way, shape, but this is closer to home and just so much more advantageous for our students.
Well, this is also something that, as a board, that we've been looking to doing, is offering the kids more options.
Right, vocational, closer to home.
Exactly.
If we don't have to shop.
I'm all in favor of it.
And we're not looking to take business away from Prosser.
No.
It's just that.
No, I understand that.
We have a different set of credentials and a little different way of approaching this.
Absolutely. Thanks, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank
Once
you.
again, sorry, I was.
Well, that's another thing, because we could do, if we had more students coming in the first year, we could do an afternoon class as well. We can adapt and bring in. We're thinking starting small, and I have heard so many questions here lately that
I think it's great.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon.
Okay, new board business. Another Salem grad, Mr. John Hawkins, is standing there in the back.
Smiling.
My daughter just got her private pilot's license.
Saw that.
It's a really exciting program.
Are you scared?
Great opportunity. Yeah. So just a quick update. We're just continuing on punch list items, trying to finalize all the paperwork, but everything seems to be going just fine.
Great. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
good news. We're still on the same target date, or getting closer?
Yes. Yes,
Again, sorry.
the only hiccup is the elevator. They're scheduled for July 26th, and they say they'll take a couple weeks, but everything else will be ready for school.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Comments from the audience?
Jamie, do you want to talk again?
Yeah.
Okay. He signed up on both.
She told me to sign up twice because I didn't want to
She
talk.
trick you?
Well, first of all, I didn't announce
Boring.
myself. I'm Jamie Richardson. Many of you know me in here. I'm a proud Salem alumni, and I'm very proud to be from Salem. And I get emotional when I speak anymore, and I don't know why, but this is the way it is. You get older, you get more emotional. You get old age, yeah. But I want to personally and publicly thank each and every board member, because you guys have such a thankless job. You know, I've been here for 50 years, and I know all the talk in town and everything that goes on in a small town. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great. But you do a thankless job, but let you know that I'm very thankful for you guys. And that being said, with everything going on and all the new hires, the football coach, basketball coach, band director, what an awesome time to be in Salem. What an awesome time to get everything and everybody on board. You know, we all have our opinions, and that's fine. You can have an opinion. But at the end of the day, when we all work together, things get done. And that's what we need to get focused on, getting things done and done the right way. And so I just wanted to come tonight because I don't ever come, I usually watch, but I just wanted to let you guys know I'm thankful. I wanted you to know I'm 50 years old, would love to come to class sometime. But that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted you guys to know that you do have a lot of support. So that's it.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much.
Is that it?
Or awards. Yeah, that's the only comment I got. Yeah.
Only comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
He signed up on both.
Jamie's our only speaker tonight? Goodness gracious. Roar Awards, Miss Abigail Boyd and Mr. Hunter Trainer. So Hunter, before we give you your medals, buddy, just because you have a little more age on Abigail, can you explain to us a little bit where you're traveling to in the next week?
Yeah, it's La Crosse, Wisconsin. It's northern part. It's about 9.5 hours away. We qualified for it through last season being points team of the year and finishing well in an event. It's a different thing for us.
Gotcha. So you're going to where? La Crosse, Wisconsin?
Yeah, on the Mississippi River.
Okay. So what do you think your chances are, buddy?
Oh, it's pretty good.
How's volleyball tonight? You can go to volleyball? Here, scoot up that way a little bit, because I'm sure somebody's going to want to.
Well, can we do it right here, actually right in front of the Salem sign?
Trust me,
Sorry.
they're not taking pictures.
They want Steve Mott Singer.
They're not taking pictures.
Steve, good.
No, I wish you guys the best of luck.
Everybody.
Nobody wants my picture. Only my wife loves this face. That's debatable.
Scare me. Hey, hit my head.
It's the glare.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations and good luck. All right. The positive praises, the good vibes. All right. Positive praises. Miss Ezell.
All right. I don't know who got them in the mail, but the Lions Den issue that came out, Monica, great job by your journalism class and team and putting that together. So it looked really good and it made me happy to see it. I was like, and I've seen it at a few different places across town, so I enjoyed that. Also, Jennifer, I don't know if you're doing this or not, but all the posts about graduates and what they're doing, I love seeing those and just seeing the different things that people are actually going out there in the world and doing. And it's just kind of neat to keep up with everybody and see, like, oh, I remember that kid, and see what they're doing. So thank you for that. Austin Doyle got the Principal's Award at Prosser, which is a big deal. So yay, Austin. And the summer STEAM activities, Mrs. Morgan and Ms. Johnson are doing do you want to talk to me about what y'all are doing with that, or?
Talk about your grant.
Yes, I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, like share, like it's exciting.
Mrs. Michaels and Ms. Johnson are doing a summer robotics program to help you kids prepare for the robotics competition that we will have in the fall semester. And then at the middle school level, I did some summer activities with the kids. We 3D printed snowflakes. We designed our own snowflakes and then we printed them. We designed boats and we floated them in the creek. And then I took a group of kids to Holiday World. And then we went bowling, strike and spare. We did that. And then back at the beginning of May, I submitted a grant. I wrote a grant and submitted a grant for the STEM integration grant for the state of Indiana. And I was notified last week that we were awarded the grant. So and it's a lot of money. So.
And how much money is it?
About $50,000.
There you go.
Well, congratulations. So it's been fun seeing the pictures and all the activities and posting smiles. It's been fun to see. And fair is next week, and we will have a fair booth. So you will be able to come and get all your supply list and meet all these smiling faces. And I'm sure we'll be sitting up there over the course of the week. So be sure to come see us there.
Okay. Ray?
Okay.
Anything?
Well, just not a whole lot. Just congratulations to seniors. I think the graduation went pretty well. I had a little glitch with the PA to start with, but I think it turned out great. Kids were well behaved and wish the seniors well in the future. Also, I might say, Shelley Smith, shout out for her and whoever helps her with the fair booth, setting that up.
Yes.
So don't leave her out.
Yeah.
Mr. Motsinger?
I didn't know if she was going to call me next.
I'm going to call on everybody, buddy.
I'd like to recognize two people that has to do with these fishing tournaments and everything, Hunter and Abigail. I know you guys probably are involved with them, but Brian and Brooke McCutcheon, they sponsor and help these kids, and I think it's a really great thing that we have those people to help out, and also you students. I've even got a nephew that's involved. I mean, it's a very special thing. It's a new sport, and I think it's great for all the kids. And I also want to shout out to our custodial staff. I think you all do a wonderful job, and with having to, you got retirees and, you know, needing people, you guys are doing a great job, and thanks for keeping up our schools.
Becky, you got all these cheerleading things you got to get involved in?
Yeah, lots of cheerleading fundraisers if anybody's interested. But it is June, so that means it's basketball month too, for summer basketball, boys and girls. Seen lots of correspondence on Facebook about their camps and their games that they're playing in, so look out for that.
Okay.
Were you saying? Wait till I was called on. I have to piggyback on everything everybody said, but also I was at the school, the elementary school the other day, and hats off to our custodians. And you know, we had mentioned the fair and the fair booth, stopped by the fair booth at Salem School for Salem Schools, but also it's such a blessing that we have such nice facilities that we can host, you know, the events. You know, I know that of course the baby contest will be at the elementary school. The little Mr. and Miss, not Mrs., Mr. and Master contest will be at the middle school, and then the Queen pageant will be at the middle school. So, and these are all air controlled and nice environments. And of course, there's a lot of practices, a lot of, you know, cleaning up, and our custodian staff. And you know, when you go over to, and I'm going to brag on Matt Gorman because and he's like, whatever you need, however do you want it, you know, just. And this is such a blessing for our fair and for our community that we have got such nice facilities and everybody working together. And I know the middle school, I know Kent, and they're just as good over there. They're rock stars too, and so at the high school too. But anyway, it's such a blessing that we do have that. And for the Washington County Fair, it's for our county fair that we have facilities that can be utilized. And everybody does it with a joyful spirit, so I love that.
And from the softball world, we had two academic all-state kids, Cassie Walls and Maddie Irwin. Cassie's going to IUS to play, and Maddie's going to Center College to play. Our team GPA was 4.05. Yeah, they're a bunch of smart girls. And then we had some all conference with Cassie, Gabby Hypes, and Kendi Garlow as well. And thanks to Mr. Ellis, because he started the fishing thing a couple of years ago, the group, and he came in, and then it's evolved into what Abigail Hunter's done now. So that's awesome. We wish you luck up there.
All I would like to say is how many years, Miss Martin, has Salem been doing dual credits?
Since
When I-
1982.
Started with the Bridge to College with IUS? Okay, because I wasn't sure how much longer it started before us.
The 82-83 school year was the first year, and you could take the W-131 English class.
Oh, that's right. So, I mean, it's great that Shannon and Tim came back. I know there's a lot of people that in their organization that are from Salem, so it's great to have them back. But, you know, Salem has been doing dual credits for a long time. There's a lot of wonderful, great opportunities for kids to get involved.
Well, just like this year's class, I'll interject, because
Go ahead.
last year's class, we had, over 25% of our graduates earned enough dual credit to qualify as sophomores in college. And you remember the exact percentage? It was close to, I didn't even say, it was over 50% earned at least 10 dual credits. You know, like the Prosser kids are getting dual credits. They may not even be going to college, which is fine. I said, but that's something that's transcriptable should you change your mind down the road. So I will brag, pat ourselves on the back. We do a great job with the dual credit. I mean, we have kids that get a lot of dual credit. We have a lot of kids that graduate from college in 3 or 3.5 years, some with double majors, some with an extra study abroad year, because they get all the dual credit in high school. They get a jump start on that.
It's a blessing.
And there's a lot of kids too that graduate just with an associate's degree, just
We
straight
have,
out of
we
state
have several that get the Indiana College Corps, and we have a few every year with the associate's degree, which is 60 college credits.
Bailey Hypes is a softball academic all-state that's graduating in 3 years and entering into the
occupational therapy
program as her 4th year at Wilmington College. And yeah, so we got a ton of kids doing great things. Yeah.
So we continue to grow and evolve in things and piggyback off all of our accomplishments. So very proud of where we're leading our kids. So with that being said, next regular monthly meeting will be July 10th, 2023. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Rebecca White makes the motion to adjourn. Ray Opal seconds. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. Motion adjourned.